Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am building a house for a cactus witch, which I will explain in a second. But if you are interested in this build, you can download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. I am using CC, which is a little unusual for me. I'm using the Pufferhead CC, so I'll provide a link down below. It's basically like a Harry Potter themed CC and it's amazing. And I've been really wanting to do what's called like a cactus witch build for a while, which is like what I think of like as a desert witch. So like a witch in the desert, lots of plants, lots of cacti. Sorry, I got like hair in my mouth and then everything inside me stuttered to a halt. But yeah, so lots of green elements. I had a lot of fun with this build. Yes, and I used a little bit of terrain tools. Nothing like too exciting, but you know, just a little bit. It's a very fantastical build. It ended up being a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I think it's 2-bathroom. Yeah. With a room for a toddler, just because I wanted to use some of the actual kid stuff in it, because it's not just like this ended up being kind of an adult-ish house, so I want to use some of the kid stuff, because it's supposed to be like, you know, you can make your own sort of Hogwarts, like boarding school style, so need to get a little bit more in there. But yeah, so I have tons of stories for you today. I have been stockpiling them, because I have been delaying doing this recording for a while, but look, I have like a whole list. A whole big list. I'm gonna start with, it just recently happened because I just got home from the grocery store, but oh my gosh, there is a Safeway that I go to sometimes because they have my favorite type of yogurt. And that's literally the only reason why I go to the Safeway, because otherwise it's kind of a bad grocery store. But I went with my boyfriend once, and like it was kind of like, I think it was 9 o'clock on a Saturday night, and yeah, or a Sunday, I don't know. It was kind of late at night, but it's summer, and so it was still really, really bright outside. And so like we go up and they're like, oh, use the other entrance. And we're like, okay. So we got all the way to the other side of the store and we go in and there are no grocery carts. And so we try and go back to the other entrance, but like it's the grocery carts that are there are in this huge long line to barricade the door so customers can't get in, but you also can't take one of the grocery carts. So we're kind of like, like I tried to grab one that had like the locks on it. So it's like we're already kind of being sketched out, and then this like random lady rides her bicycle into the Safeway. So we're already like kind of like, I don't know what's happening. Then a random lady rides her bike into the Safeway and her family is like yelling at her, like not in a mad way, just like, you know how some people yell when they talk. So I don't know. We're on high alert. We grab our basket. This is the same Safeway, by the way, where I spilled the entire jar of salsa verde. So I don't have very good luck with this, but that was a while ago. My story today is I went in and I bought one of those cauliflower crust pizzas, and I got a brand I'm not used to because it was a little bit cheaper and it came in the margarita flavor. And I love margarita pizza. And so the cashier saw it and she started talking about her keto diet, which I'm fine with, you know, everyone has their own like stuff. But you know, like she got into a huge long discussion with me about it, and she was like, I love this pizza. I can't eat it because it violates my keto diet by just a little. Anyways, lots of stuff. Super sweet. She just wanted to do a conversation. Fast forward to today, she's like, how did you like that keto pizza? And I'm like, it was a little bit sweet for me, because it tasted like the sauce was made out of ketchup. But, you know, so it was a little bit sweet for me. And she was like, what? What? I've never heard anyone describe pizza as being sweet. I'm going to have to write about that on Facebook. And I'm going to say I had a customer today who said pizza was too sweet for her. It was just this big old thing. I don't know. She was super adorable. I was just like... And then she like went on to tell me that she's been breaking her keto diet lately, and I'm just like, no judgment. Like, you know, she started listing things that like broke the diet, and I'm like, you know, like we have a couple slips, and she's like, I'm not done. And she continued to list things that she had eaten that broken her diet, and I'm just like, but anyways, that That was kind of fun. I have mostly done the structure of this house now. I ended up doing lots of archways into this little like greenhouse area. And then I didn't want to extend the porch, so that's where the landscaping came in. I just kind of almost made like a driveway up to it. It's not a garage, but kind of had that same sort of sloping up to it. And so I thought that was really cute. This whole house has like a very funky aesthetic to it, and like funky, like fantasy. Is that a thing? Because it's a thing now. And it alliterates. So funky fantasy. But yeah, so I like don't want to go back to that Safeway. But they're the only place that has the specific type of yogurt I like. And I mean, I feel like I have like different grocery stores that I go to for different things. I can never find everything I want at one grocery store. And I live a very, very sad life because of it. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, there's already the landscaping thing. This actually ended up being kind of a pack limited build. Let's see what I used. I used the CC. I used base game, obvi. And I used the vampire stuff. And then I think I just used the Strangerville because desert. So I just love how this turned out. I think it looks really cute. And I just love the Strangerville world. Like, honestly, I'm not huge into gameplay. They didn't give us a huge amount of build buy objects in this. Personally, like, they gave us some, and it was kind of fun to explore a new style, but the world is like worth it. Like, I just keep wanting to build in there, and I'm like, Penelope, you can't just build in Strangerville. It's not how this works. Not everyone has it. But speaking of packs, I snapped, sorry. The Island Living pack is coming out soon, and I should have early access to that. So I will try and bring something to you guys. I will be doing a base game and pack new pack only build, which is always fun. Probably won't do gameplay because I still haven't even done the Strangerville game. Like, I'm so bad at it. It's just one of those things that I don't do. Like, you know what kind of reminds me of? I am bad at Facebook. Like, I don't like going on Facebook, like, at all. Like, I hate it. And so one of my roommates moved out recently, and I checked Facebook for something, and I realized she extended a friend request months ago, and I just never accepted it. So, like, awkwardly, after she's moved out, I accepted the friend request, and I'm just like, ooh. And so then, like, I went back on Facebook, and I realized I haven't friend requested any of my other roommates, so I did that too, and I'm just like, this is so awkward. We've been living together for almost a year. But at least I extended the invitation this time, so. But the only reason why I went on Facebook is in my graduate school program, we have a big and little sibling program. So I have a big who's a year above me, and now I have a little who's a year below me. And we didn't get any of their contact information, just their name. So, but they encouraged us to look for them on Facebook. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a good big sister, and I'm going to use Facebook. I'm going to put on my big girl pants and use Facebook, even though I hate it. And I'm even going to send her a DM and be like, hi, I'm your big, I'm super friendly and accessible. And she never answered me. I like put so much effort into it, you guys. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Facebook just makes me kind of anxious for some reason. And I was like this close to taking myself off of Facebook. But then I found out that my graduate school uses it a lot for things, and so I miss out on a lot of things, so I don't look at Facebook. But anyways, that's just, I feel like I'm 80 years old and not using the Facebook like I should. But I tried to combine the interior vampire pack wallpaper with this, just to kind of add some more textures. Oh, and I did use Get Together. I did use that pack as well. So it's not super pack limited, but it's more than all of them. It's more than all of the packs. But yeah, just because I wanted to use the cobblestone, and I just love that cobblestone, so. I used a lot of the greenery, and just this whole build is just like overgrown but with cacti, and I just love it. I just love it so much. And I also like put little things on the roof, and it's just like a fun build. I had a lot of fun with it. But let's see. I have to open my phone every time I want another story, but oh, I know. This is a fun story. I'm telling you guys, I've been collecting these stories. So this is back in finals week, which is way past. We're done with that quarter. Thank God. In case you didn't hear, you have to know that I had 8 classes that quarter, so I'm glad I'm done with it. But so like, it's the last day of the quarter. It's finals. I had just taken one final, and I walked to the cafeteria building, and it started pouring. Absolutely just gushing water. And I didn't bring my umbrella, which was super annoying. But like the test was about to start. I mean, okay, the test was going to start in an hour, but I wanted to get there so I could study before the I mean, I could have studied in the cafeteria, but anyways, I got anxious and I felt like I needed to be in the classroom an hour before my final. And it's pouring rain. I didn't know what to do. And I'm like, kind of like, ooh, I'll just like look outside and maybe I'll see if I can like go for it. So I kind of go a little bit outside. It's pouring. It is like a torrential downpour. But all of a sudden I see this solitary man walking by with an umbrella, and I just sprint at him. I just ran right up to him and I'm like, can I use your umbrella with you? And he's like, sure. And so like I'm kind of hunched under his umbrella, but I'm also trying not to take up his entire umbrella and force him out. And so we're doing this awkward like walk, and I kind of want to be like, could we hurry up? But I'm like, no, you cannot ask this man who you've already inconvenienced if he could hurry up. And so like I ended up with like literally half of me drenched and the other half of me was dry. But he was so sweet. We like struck up a conversation. He was a professor. Like it was just, he was super sweet. And like when I look back on it, I was like, that was kind of rude of you to just like run up to a stranger and like commandeer their umbrella. But he didn't seem too mad. But some of my classmates were like, why? I'm like, especially because of course it stopped raining like 10 minutes after I got into the place where I was trying to go to. So, oh well. But here you can see I'm starting to do some landscaping. Let's bring it back to the build. Bring it back. Trying to fit these cacti in. Oh my gosh. Landscaping with terrain tools is a pain because everything floats. Everything floats. So you kind of have to like cover up stuff. What's new? I use the buy to bug to get a lot of the plants. I am so happy they made those accessible for us. It was, yes, because that finger plant right there is amazing. But yeah, I even added a pond, which the ponds are also super annoying on terrain tools because they hover to whichever point is the highest, and you can see out of the world, and it's a problem. It's a problem with a relatively easy solution, but it was still super annoying. Okay. I think I'll tell another school story. Okay, so back in winter quarter, and we're in summer quarter now, one of my classmates had been bringing protein shakes to drink every day, and he had been going to the cafeteria area and asking them if they wouldn't mind giving him some ice, and they're super nice there, and so they do it for free. But he started to feel really awkward because then they started to see him coming, and they'd be like, just skip the line, here, we'll grab it for you real fast. And he was like, I feel really bad, I'm just cutting like sometimes more than 10 people. And so, like, somebody was like, oh, I think there is an ice machine in the nursing building. He scoured that building up and down, even asked other students if they knew where the ice machine was, could not find it, couldn't find it, gave up. He, like, stopped bringing protein drinks for lunch. He just stopped. And fast forward, it's summer quarter. We have, like, a month left now. Just literally a month. We've been here the whole year and we have like a month left now. And I go into the pharmacy building to eat lunch, and just magically we found the ice machine. It was in the wrong building this whole time. And like, this is just like one of those things where it was just like such a huge deal. Like in all caps in our little group chat, I was like, I found it. I found it. It's like the holy grail. I found the ice machine. It's on the second floor of the farm building. And the reason why we found it is like, we were just like, oh, let's just go in this building for lunch. You know, we're on this side of the campus around this time. So, you know, let's try it out. And so we walk into the ground floor and there are some microwaves and we're like, oh, cool. But then we look at them and they say absolutely no sesame. And I'm like, who has sesame in their food? That's just a random thing. And because I was thinking sesame seeds, and I was like, ooh, I literally have sesame oil. And like, we're reading little signs on both microwaves, and it's like, no sesame. And it's like, one of our faculty members, Catherine, has a severe sesame allergy. And we're like, Catherine, did you have to take a bowl of microwaves? So we went to go find the microwaves on a different floor that didn't have a no sesame sign on it. And that's how we found the ice machine. So it was purely by chance. We might have gone our entire year without finding the ice machines. Oh my gosh. Anyways, that's my story about ice machines. Riveting. One of the things I loved about this pack were these bird cages, and they actually have little slots in them that items fit into, which is really nice. So I put little lanterns in some, and I put plants in others, and I absolutely love it. And I used probably like way too many, but they were just like so cool. It's like better than just lanterns. It's like bird cages. And this pack comes with like an owl type thing, so you could put an owl in your bird cage. I didn't even put those two together. I didn't even think of it, but you can if you want to. And again, I will be putting the link to that in the description down below, just because it is amazing and it's so much fun to use, especially if you've ever liked anything Harry Potter or wizards and witches in general. It's just pretty cool. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Oh, we got plenty of time. We have plenty of time for my shenanigans. Let's see. Ooh, since we're still on school, and that's, okay, school is my entire life. Especially because I'm currently living away from my boyfriend to be in this dang program. So, like, I have nothing else to do. Literally nothing. Except for, I don't know, make paper crafts like this. Look at this thing. This is what I do with my time. This isn't complete and the camera isn't focusing. See, look at that. Look, it has individual windows. Like, come on. Anyways, so that's what I do with my time. That and The Sims. But yeah, so I have a professor who refuses to post the lecture materials before the lecture. He has it locked on our class website. He has it locked until literally when lecture is going to start. And he has all of the readings for that week locked. He has the lab assignment guide locked. Everything. Literally everything locked. And so I emailed him on the night before, about like 5 p.m., so not super late. And I was like, hey, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind unlocking this. I'd really like to review the materials beforehand, and I'd like to download the lecture because it can be difficult to pay attention and try and download a lecture at the same time. Basically, I was like explaining to him why it's important to plan ahead. You know, so, but super polite. And so, like, he never responded to my email, but instead he like emailed the entire class and was like, the slides are posted. All lowercase, no punctuation. And I'm just like, are you mad at me? Because that's what people do when they're mad. They like don't capitalize or punctuate anything and they just leave it at one sentence and they're like, I'm done with you. And I'm just like, I just wanted to be a good student for you. Oh my gosh. And that same professor, his online quizzes 10 questions, 10 minutes. Not so bad, except for their questions where they'll give you two statements like the sky is blue and on a cloudy day there are clouds. And then the question is, the first statement is true, the second statement is false. The first statement is false, the second statement is true. Both statements are false, both statements are true. But he's got like whole paragraphs, really long sentences that don't make any sense, and it's like impossible to read in the time. And the very worst thing about it, there's no back button. You cannot go back to the first question if you're on the 10th question. You cannot go back. And that is the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever, like, most nerve-wracking testing experience I've ever had. And it's so frustrating because, like, you'll be on the 9th out of 10th question and you'll be like, oh my God, I only have a minute left. I just have to go. I have to answer the last question, and then it's like super easy. And then you have like 40 seconds that you could be spending going back to the first question. It's so nerve-wracking. And basically, I've had to let everyone know that I'm experiencing this in my life, and it's affecting me on a very deep and personal level. So you guys get to know too. Because if I have something to complain about, I will try and complain about it to every single person I know, so I can receive their sympathy. Are any of you guys like that? Because I'm super like that. And I try not to complain to one person and then complain to another person if that person is nearby. Because then I'm technically telling them the same story twice. So I try and avoid that. But like, I don't know. I love to complain. I just really do. And so does my boyfriend. And we love complaining to each other. And it's very nice that we have found that within each other. Oh, look, this little section right here. I'm finally on the interior, if you haven't noticed. And I'm doing like a little seating area. It's not functional, but I just love how it turned out. It was super cute. Like, I love getting to use the vampire cabinets. That's super fun. And I love this whole like earthy tone like vibe I went in here, and the green floors, and it's just really fun. And there are the CC pillows that I could put here, and just yes. I just love how it turned out. It's super cute. Okay, let's see what our next story is now that we've done the kitchen. The greenhouse area is kind of like a study / workshop area. Yeah, it's pretty cute. That's all I wanted to say about that. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So I saved a bird. A bird. My roommate and I were driving home and going kind of slow, like 20 miles per hour. And I see this thing in the road, and it looks like a pine cone, just like kind of sitting up. And it's because it's so still. It's just not moving. And as I kind of slowed down, because I'm like, wait a second. And I'm like, yeah, that's a bird, but it's like not moving. And so like, it's between like, these are my tires. I'm the bird. I drove over it like this. And I wanted to really preface that because there's no good way to say that I ran over a bird. Like, I drove over a bird. It just sounds like you hit the bird. I didn't hit the bird. The bird just didn't move. And so I just very slowly just went past him. And so we're like, should we help him? And so we stopped the car like in the middle of the road, because that's what I do. And I turn on my hazards, and we go outside, and we kind of like walk up to this bird, and neither of us want to touch it. Keep in mind, like, we really want to help this bird, but we don't want to touch it because birds are kind of gross. So we don't want to get like pecked. So we kind of walk up to it, and I was thinking it might like fly away if we got close to it, but it looks kind of stunned, and it's still just sitting there. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, I like waved a car like around me. I'm just like this crazy lady standing in the street, like being like, just go around us and the bird. Just go around. It's fine. Just go around. So I like go and I park my car against the street, so I'm out of the way. And then like more cars are coming at this point, and so I'm like, we still haven't, like, our solution was, okay, maybe if we get a piece of paper, we can scoop it up and carry it and set it down. That would not have worked. But you know, more cars are coming, and so like I kind of like go around, and this car is like not moving. It's definitely like, what are you doing in the middle of the road, you crazy person? And so I walk closer to the bird because I'm thinking the car can see me. It's not going to hit me. It might not be able to see the bird. So I'm going to stand close to the bird so that the car will not hit the bird. So I do that. And as I get close, the bird just takes off. It finally like freaks out enough. And so I'm like, okay. And then I like run back into the car. The whole time this driver is like, but we saved a bird. Technically ran over the bird first without hitting it. We saved a bird. The next day we saw a bunny, and we are like, we are the animal whisperers. Nature is reaching out to us. Oh my gosh. But this is the little toddler room, and it ended up being super duper cute. They're like little postcards that you can actually stick on the desk. It has like a pin board on the desk within this one object. It's super cool. But I found some of the coolest ones, and I kind of put them up as art. They just ended up being really cute. Okay, here is when I went off the rails in the build, and I started putting cacti on the roof, and nobody can stop me. I think it really added to it though, and it just made it even more eccentric and fun. And so I really liked how it ended up turning out. And like also guys, I used like ivy as like a rug. So, and it moves. I didn't realize it would move. It like sways back and forth because it's meant to be put on a pool. The bed still works. I tested this a little bit. Not with the toddler, because I was too lazy to put a toddler in there. But all the adult stuff works. I'm terrible. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so like she's even sleeping in like greenery. It's super cool. I love how it turned out. And she has like one of the plants in a bird cage next to her bed, so it's almost like it's a pet. And it's fun. It's real fun. Okay. Really, all of these stories are about school, except for like one. Okay, so I was on my school's website, like portal system, like, you know, my.school.org, whatever. And at the top, it had a banner, like a pop-up banner, and it said, end of life notice. And I'm just like, excuse you? Because, like, I technically work for the school, and so I thought it was asking me for like an end of life notice, like what I'd want to do with my body after I die, like whether or not I want to be put on life support or like a living will. And I'm just like, are you even allowed to ask for that? Like, are you kidding? End of life note? Are you kidding me? But I look closer and they're changing websites. So it was a my.school.org end of life notice. And I'm just like, that is literally the creepiest way you could have possibly phrased that. I do not think, maybe you could have put a message that says, I'm dying. Say goodbye to my children for me. I don't know. End of life notice was just like really deeply unsettling. And I was like, oh boy. I literally thought it was asking me for my last will and testament. Like, oh my God. Oh, but here's the greenery around the bed. And oh, it just ended up being so cute. So cute. Okay. So this story happened on school, but it's not technically a school thing. So if you hadn't noticed, I really like pugs. I like pugs a lot. I have pugs on my water bottle. Pugs. Look. Pugs. I really like pugs. Okay. I have like pug slippers over here. The calendar above me, which you can't see at all, has a pug on it. Like, if you hadn't noticed, I really like pugs. So I was filling my water bottle at school, and this random girl comes up to me. She's like, oh, is that a pug on your water bottle? And I'm like, yes. I love meeting pug people. It's like the best because when you're as fanatical about me as about pugs, it's nice to meet someone who's a kindred spirit and isn't going to judge you when you tell them that you want literally 80 pugs to carry you around places. You know, and so I'm like, oh yeah, it is a pug. I love them so much. And she's like, I have 4 of them. And I'm like, I am so jealous. And she kind of like laughs. And she's like, what's your pug's name? And I'm like, ooh. I don't have a pug. I just really love them. And whenever I say that, I feel like that girl in Mean Girls who's like, I don't actually go here. I just have a lot of feelings. And I've told this story before, but I used to go to pug conventions and like pug meetups just so I could look at people's pugs. And people all the time would be like, which one's yours? And I'm like, I just really love pugs. And so it happened just at school. She has 4 pugs. I want one. I just want at least one of your pugs. Like, that's so hard. Oh my gosh, it definitely, I would never give up my pug for the world. Anyways, I don't have a pug. I don't have a pug, and I really want one. I'm waiting until after I graduate, and I'm kind of settled, especially because I actually want to rescue a pug. I recognize that there are issues with the breeding of pugs. You know, they can be very inbred and they can have lots of health problems, much like a lot of other purebred dogs. I think people tend to focus on pugs so much because you can see it. You can see the squished faces and you can hear the breathing problems. And so you're like, oh my gosh, pugs, the worst breeding of dogs that we do. But there are also a lot of other dogs, like German Shepherds, I think have terrible hips, and just there are tons of things, but you can't see them as well. So anyways, all in all, the puppy trade is bad, and it's better not to inbreed dogs and everything, so I'm gonna rescue a pug. There's like a pug society. They shelter pugs, and one day I'm gonna submit an application, and honestly, they're probably gonna look at it and be like, I don't know, guys. I think if she gets this pug, that she's gonna smother it. And then they're not gonna give me a pug. Because I'll be like, I have waited 10 years. I started loving pugs when I was 18. I am now 28. I finally graduated. And it is my time, so give me my pug. And they're just going to be like, no, I'm sorry, but like, you just seem really crazy. I'll be like, look, I already bought all the stuff. I already bought the dog bag and all the things. I've read all the manuals on pugs. I am ready. I am ready. And they're just going to like do like a house tour of my house. And they're going to be like, have you ever owned a dog before? No, I haven't. Like at all? No, I've just did a lot of reading about pugs. And I cry in public sometimes when I see them. And then they'll be like, and then they'll leave and they won't give me a pug. That's how I predict my life going. But anyways, we are coming up on the end of this build. I really hope that you enjoyed it and you enjoyed my ramblings. My next build will be doing some island living. Whee! So that'll be really, really exciting. I hope you guys are all having a really great day. Are any of you as fanatical about like pugs or other something else as me? Because sometimes I'm concerned for myself. But anyways, I hope you guys are all having a really great day, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!